Good evening. We begin tonight with new details in the horrific death of 10-year-old Rebekah Baptiste, with Phoenix police now telling 12 News they contacted the Department of Child Safety multiple times regarding Rebekah and her siblings. Thanks for joining us tonight for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kadiba Devine. This comes after staff at Rebekah's school said that they reported concerns to DCS at least a dozen times. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is joining us live in studio. And Bianca, what are you learning now?
Well, just in the past couple of hours, we got new information from the Phoenix Police Department, and it shows that police officers repeatedly checked the welfare of the Baptiste children and investigated allegations of abuse. And they notified DCS every time that they did. On 5 separate occasions, the Phoenix Police Department says they had contacts related to Rebekah Baptiste and her siblings. And on each occasion, they contacted the Department of Child Safety. Police telling 12 News from August of 2018 through April of this year, they responded to multiple reports involving the Baptiste children. In 2018, it was a welfare check, and detectives contacted DCS. In December of 2023, another welfare check, and officers, as well as detectives who followed up on the case, contacted the department. In February of 2024, police contacted the family for an accidental injury, and DCS was notified. Later that year in November, officers investigated an allegation of child abuse and neglect, where detectives alerted DCS. Their most recent contact was this spring.
We got an SRO to the house shortly thereafter, and he observed marks of a black eye.
Staff at Rebekah's school, Empower College Prep, recalling that incident. They say after Rebekah was absent from school for several days, their school resource officer visited Rebekah's home and witnessed her with a black eye. The school says the SRO also contacted DCS to seek protection for her. But not long after that, the Baptiste family moved to rural Apache County. And on July 27th, Rebekah was found tortured and abused. She died 3 days later, and her father and his girlfriend were charged with her murder.
This is a department that I think the intention and goal is incredibly beneficial and important, and we want to have in place, but things fall through the crack time and time again.
Staff at Empower holding a stack of documents showing that they made 12 reports to DCS. DCS alleged they received 5 reports from the school, saying only one of those reports met the statutory criteria for an investigation.
Unfortunately, that is why I have our staff keep these documents.
As Empower staff try to grapple with the loss of the girl they tried so hard to save, they're vowing to keep using their voice, hoping to prevent this kind of tragedy from happening again.
While being distraught about the loss of Rebekah, we also are desperate to make sure that something changes.
And on top of these 13 reports from the school and the SRO, Empower says following Rebekah's death, they have heard from other agencies that worked with Rebekah and her siblings who shared that they made at least 20 additional reports to DCS. None of the Phoenix police interactions resulted in an arrest. Now, we have reached out to DCS asking about these reports and if they're investigating whether there may be a problem with their hotline and reporting process. We will let you know when we hear back. Mark Caribe.
Bianca, this just seems so egregious, and there's a lot of fault out there. We don't know where it belongs for sure. But if Phoenix police goes out and they see a little girl injured badly, they can't take her, right?
So for the most part, if Phoenix police were to witness a typically dangerous situation, something so bad, they could take the kids and then call DCS for placement. But for the most part, removals fall under DCS's purview.
All right. What a horribly sad story.
Yeah, it is. All right, Bianca, thank you. Well, now to a weather impact alert. Today, Phoenix set a new record for the hottest August day ever. We hit 118 degrees.
It might as well have been 150 out there.
Yep.
Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is with us, and one more day, if we can just stick it out one more day, right?
One more day, but the relief we're getting for the weekend, you can barely call it relief because we're looking still at highs around 110 to 111. The extreme heat warning, though, will come to an end, though, at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So we just have to get through tomorrow. We were 111 last hour, and we finally just fell below 110 as of the 10 p.m. hour. Pretty unbelievable. 104 in Scottsdale. It's still 108 degrees out in Fountain Hills right now. Hour by hour tonight, we don't get down into the 90s again until 2 o'clock in the morning. And then at 5 a.m., it's 93. Temperatures are going to warm up very quickly again, but the record for tomorrow in Phoenix, at least, is safe. The record is 116. We are going to see a high tomorrow of 113. Average for the day is 105. But up in the high country, we will set a few records. Flagstaff with a forecast of 90. That's a 45-year-old record. We're going to tie it. Same thing with Sedona, also a 45-year-old record at 104, and we're headed for a high of 104 tomorrow. But 90s and triple digits even all across the high country tomorrow. Mark?
All right, Linz, thanks. We have an update tonight on a shooting in West Phoenix. Police say the victim killed in an apartment complex on Monday was a 15-year-old girl. Officers found Kylona Smiley inside an apartment near 77th Avenue and in Canto. She died at the scene. Detectives haven't released any details on what led to the shooting, and so far there have been no arrests.
A man accused of killing 2 cyclists and hurting more than a dozen others accepted a plea deal for his role in the deadly crash. In February of 2023, Pedro Quintana Lujan drove his truck into a group of cyclists in Goodyear. He claimed that his vehicle's steering locked up. However, the National Transportation Safety Board and DCS released reports casting doubt on that claim. Today, he pled guilty to 12 misdemeanors and will serve 6 months in jail.
New at 10, 2 men are locked up tonight, accused of several high-end burglaries in Scottsdale and Paradise Valley. Police say they stole more than $100,000 worth of merchandise.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us live at Scottsdale Police Department. And Chase, police say that they weren't stealing jewelry or cash. They were actually after something else.
Cribbay, Mark, that's right. Police tell me that these suspects were actually going after high-end kitchen appliances. We're talking very expensive microwaves, refrigerators, and even gas stove ranges. 22-year-old Aiden Cornish and 20-year-old Trent Kennedy were arrested for reportedly carrying out 5 burglaries within a month.
Stole high-end appliances from vacant homes with a loss in excess of $100,000.
Scottsdale police say in July, the suspects got into these 2 model homes that are fully furnished, stealing a nearly $900 microwave, a $2,300 wine fridge, and a $12,000 range. Police claim they went to another vacant home that's for sale, broke in through the garage, and stole another expensive gas range and wine fridge, totaling up to $30,000. Scottsdale police say they heard from Paradise Valley police, who told them they had similar burglaries where kitchen appliances were also stolen. Court documents claim Cornish would then sell the appliances. So what did the 2 suspects use the money on? A Lamborghini. Police say they rented one for 3 days for $2,200, posting videos like this on their social media of them going 150 miles per hour.
We never saw a Lamborghini over there.
Never saw a car like that. I'm surprised.
We spoke with Cornish's neighbors in Tempe, who said they met him months ago when he first moved in, saying Cornish was renovating this home.
They actually seemed very friendly. They were working hard on the house.
But at the same time, they did wonder.
Just questioned where these young men were getting all this money from.
It was also here where some of those stolen items were dropped off. According to arrest documents, Kennedy told detectives Cornish was the mastermind behind everything, researching homes to burglarize, and then would give Kennedy money for helping him out. Both now face charges related to burglary.
I'm sorry to hear that they're that kind of guys.
Now, Scottsdale police told me this investigation is far from over. While they were able to locate some of those stolen appliances, they say the majority of them are still out there and they're still searching for them. They also told me at that Tempe home, they found other high-end kitchen appliances that weren't related to any of the cases that they were working on, leading them to believe that there could be more victims out there. We'll continue to follow the story. For now, we're live in Scottsdale. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. Tomorrow, Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego heads to the Iowa State Fair for what could be his first step towards a presidential campaign. 12 News journalist and Sunday Square Off moderator Bram Resnick is in Des Moines tonight at the fairgrounds with a preview of Gallego's visit to the traditional starting line for a run for the White House.
Senator Ruben Gallego could show off his pork chop flipping skills. It's a tradition for many presidential hopefuls here at the Iowa State Fair. Gallego will likely sample the fair's famous food and also tell Iowa voters he's fighting for them. Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego's journey to the Iowa State Fair follows in the footsteps of countless presidential hopefuls. One of the largest state fairs in the country puts Washington politicians in a regular guy setting with Iowa voters, chatting them up, sampling food on a stick, maybe trying to flip a pork chop. 2+ years from now, those voters will render their verdict on the 2028 presidential candidates in Iowa's Democratic caucuses. When pressed about his presidential ambitions, Gallego says he'll think about 2028 when it gets closer. While in Iowa, the 45-year-old Marine combat veteran is positioning himself as a politician who will fight to protect Iowans from President Trump's policies. Iowa isn't Gallego's only stop fueling presidential speculation. Later this month, he'll travel to New Hampshire. That state's first-in-the-nation primary is another early litmus test for White House contenders. In Des Moines, Iowa, Bram Resnick, 12 News.
Bram, thanks. And he'll have much more on Senator Gallego's Iowa visit tomorrow on a live edition of Sunday Square Off. You can watch that tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 on 12 News and, of course, on 12+.